Mom and Dad, could this be your little girl?
It's Christmas Eve, Barbie. Think we'll get a dream house?
Imagine your Barbie girl leaping for her Christmas dreams come true.
Look at the size of it at the Dollhouse.
Barbie Dreamhouse, Dad.
She's been dreaming about it all year.
Oh, look at this. Even the windows work.
That's more than I can say for ours.
Sure feels sturdy to me.
It comes with all this furniture? 6 rooms full of it. I remember when you wanted a house for your Barbie collection. Yeah, but this is better than anything I ever dreamed of.
She'll play with it for years.
Dreams come true, Barbie girl, for your Barbie girl.
The Barbie Dreamhouse. Merry Christmas wishes to your family from ours.
Hi everybody, so it's Sherry here from Sherry Makes Stuff, and I have found all of my lovely 60s dolls. There's a few later ones in there as well, of course, but I'm very excited about that. And so I've been going through and fixing some of them up, like my lovely midges here have had their hair done, and I thought that was gonna be the next video I was gonna make, but it's not, because something remarkable happened today. Let me show you. That's right. I am now the proud owner of an official Barbie A-frame dollhouse. Y'all, this thing is huge. I don't know the exact measurement on it yet. I will get my measuring tape out and measure it, but it's easily, I'm going to say, like 3 foot at the peak and like 3 foot wide by 1 foot deep. Easily. I'll give you better measurements later once I go through and measure it, but isn't this fantastic? So this was given to me by an old high school friend, Amy. Thank you, Amy. She said I could give her a shout out in the video, so I am shouting her out. I really appreciate it. And this thing is gorgeous. Now, it's barn fresh, right? So in the collector world, that means it's coming straight from the collector or from the original owner, and no work has been done on it yet. So it's probably missing a few things. It's a little dirty. I have not gone over this yet. You and I are going to go over this together, and we're going to look and see what we're missing and what we're not. Just at a glance, I can see that we are missing 2 doors. I don't know if we're missing anything else, but there are 2 doors missing. Not a big deal. We're also missing the fake flowers out of the planters. Also not a big deal. Of those 2 things, if that's all we're missing, honestly, we're in pretty good shape. You can see in the middle section there's a little yellowing of some of those posts. It's not as bad in person as it looks in the video. It looks way more yellow. In real life, it just looks a little discolored. Also, I'm shooting this at night, so I've got all kinds of weird lighting going on. I've got my orange UFO light in the background, right? It's the lighting in here is not great, so you're not getting great color reproduction. So don't let that throw you. So let's take a closer look at what we've got here. All right, so I'm going to go section at a time. So this is the far right section. I'll look at some pictures and I'll kind of verify what I'm missing and what I'm not. But this is just a first glance, kind of first go through that I'm doing with you. And this section looks pretty good. So it has all of its windows and they all function, it seems. Again, it is dirty. It was in her basement. You know, we're not kids. It's been in her basement since she was a kid, so, you know, it's fine. Honestly, I would rather have it in this state from an original owner than have it be cleaned by somebody that doesn't know how to clean vintage plastics, because all kinds of bad things can happen. So I'm happier when an original owner just lets it go and it sits in a basement and it just gets dirty. Sometimes that layer of just dirt, just dust, can protect decals, it can protect paint, it can protect the color underneath and keep it from sun fading or from getting so filthy. Something was set on here. You can see there's a clean swatch in the middle. This is the pink version. This dollhouse, of course, came in a yellow and orange version and a pink version. I have been more familiar with the orange and yellow version, but I am not turning down a pink version. So let's take a look at the back. Okay, and the back looks good as well. I don't see anything missing. We have our windows. All 4 windows are here. They all seem to work well. Yep. this door works. Yep. I wonder if I can put a magnet. It just kind of swings freely right now. I wonder if I could put a magnet or something to kind of hold it in place. So I was talking to that doll guy about some customization. He kind of mentioned, ooh, it's ripe for customization. He's right. This would be a great candidate if I was going to do customizations. I'm not married to if I am or if I'm not. But these windows are like new. Like the way they move, they are so tight and they hold a pose really nicely. There's a little bit of warping to them from age, but not overly so. They are in pretty good condition in my opinion. Now again, we are missing the flowers from the planters. That's not the end of the world. Fake flowers I can come up with, right? The world is full of fake flowers. So that's not the end of the world. All right, that's section number 1. Let's move on to section number 2. All right, now it's time for the middle section. And I mean, this baby is tall. I've got it up on a bin so I can handle it more easily, but I almost don't need to. Like, it is pretty tall. But let's get into it. Let's take a look at it. So we have both of our front doors and these little side windows, which is nice. How do they function? Pretty nicely. Yep, I've got a little catch there. And with those windows open, I'll turn it around, but just at first glance, it looks like we have all 4 doors in the back. I can't really tell, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. Up on the second story here, this is where we're missing a door. So we have these 2, but we're missing one over here. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I think we can either come up with something or we can find a replacement. So that's going to be what we'll look for. I'll check to make sure that there's no broken pieces left in the pegs. It doesn't appear to be there, that there is, and we will see if we can find a replacement. So, not the end of the world. Our balcony is here and in good shape. I'm going to turn her around so we can see the other side. Okay. Here we are on the back side. Just occurred to me my lens was probably not that clean, so I apologize if everything was blurry up until now. Hopefully it's better. So, looking at the back side, this is where we're missing our second door that I noticed right off the bat. Again, not a deal breaker, not the end of the world. Also, I need to fix this one so it's on the side of the door jamb somehow. Oh no, that's where it needs to go. It's where it needs to go. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm just figuring this out as I go along. So we're needing the other half of this door. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. And then down here, these doors are fine. We have all 4 of them. It was hard to see because, you know, we were looking at the other side of it. So our little Miss Amy was very careful with her dollhouse when she was a child. She was apparently one of those kids who was very careful with her toys. As was I, you know. We were not very destructive kids, my brother and I. So beautiful. Okay, let's move on to the last section. And here is our last section. This is a mirror image of the first section that we looked at. So we have the planter box down here and up at the top, all of our windows yet again. And then on the back side, you can see we have our door and our windows. Oh, I am missing one window. Okay, that also I did not catch. So I'm missing one window, 2 doors. That's it structurally, right? And sorry, you can see my shadow. Other than that, we're missing the plants in the planter boxes, but again, I'm super not worried about that. All right, so next we're gonna go on to cleaning. So what am I gonna clean this with? I am gonna start with, and this is gonna sound weird, but I'm gonna start with some glass cleaner, just some generic glass cleaner and a paper towel. It's a nice gentle cleaner, and I'm just gonna see how dirty is it. Like, do I need to scrub it? Like, were her parents smokers and there's like a layer of nicotine? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't look yellowed in that way in any way, and it doesn't feel sticky, right? That gross stickiness that you get. So I don't think that's an issue, but you never know, right? It's old and that could be all hidden under a layer of dust. So I'm going to start to clean it and I'm going to see what comes up and how it looks. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, here's my first kind of go through on cleaning, and I'm gonna try to keep out of my own shadow here, but it's coming across pretty good. What do you think? Like, don't look at the railing. I got the other railing a little better, but it is cleaning up very nicely. So it's taking very minimal scrubbing. I'm just going in with a toothbrush to get things out of the grooves, but y'all, it's just dust. It is just dust. It is not dirty. You know what I mean? So I think I'm just going to keep going this way. And you might say, this feels like the long way to go. Why don't you tear it apart and wash it in a tub? And yeah, I absolutely could do that. And there's instructions online on how to do that. But I want you to keep in mind who I was trained by. I was trained by my grandmother, the doll doctor, the famed Flint doll doctor. And she always taught me to do things as minimally invasive as possible. This plastic, these pillars notoriously crack. And I don't want to take the risk. And I can feel that there's a crack starting actually right there. I don't want to squeeze that too much because I can feel the thinning of the plastic. And there's a little bit of crack starting. You might even be able to see it if I zoom in. I don't know if you can see that texture right there, but that's a crack forming. Any of this could break. Plastic does not age well, especially plastic from this era does not age well. So I don't want to stress this plastic any more than absolutely necessary. So as long as I can clean it this way, just externally while keeping it intact, I'm going to do that because it's going to be stronger all put together into one piece. If I tear it down to its individual parts, some of those pieces, might be maybe something warped from the years. Maybe maybe the whole thing is warped slightly and I put it together wrong and then that cracks the plastic. You know what I mean? It's aged together as one cohesive whole. And I just want to kind of keep it together in this state and not stress out any of its individual parts. Now, there's no one definitive answer to how to do this. If you are more comfortable taking it apart and cleaning it because you like things like clean, 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 and want to make sure it's clean, 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 and don't trust that you can get it that way by cleaning in this manner, then hey, you do you, right? When you have your dollhouse, you do you. There's no wrong answer to this. This is just what I'm comfortable with. I'm just afraid of breaking it and I can be a little ham-fisted sometimes, and I don't always know my own strengths. And I just don't want to crack these apart, and then I got to go search for those as well. So that's why I'm going with a minimally invasive approach. And I'm going to continue down that road because it is really, sorry again about my own shadow, but it is really cleaning up nicely. I'm even getting down into the cracks of those railings pretty well. So I'm going to continue along this road, and I'll see you at the next checkpoint. Well, I just want to say that this has really cleaned up beautifully. I don't know if you can see how nice that is, but I'll try to take some still shots and put them in here. But this is just a first once over. I'll do another once over tomorrow once we're in the bright light of day and I can see more clearly. But the color looks good. It doesn't really look faded. Again, there's a little bit of yellowing on these pillars. Cleaned a little more. It's a little yellowing on those pillars. I may or may not take them off. I saw somebody on YouTube put contact paper on hers, kind of make them a little stronger. We'll see. Maybe I'll try something like that. But overall, pretty pleased with how this is turning out. All right, I'll see you at the next milestone. Cool. There's new kitty. We have a rare new kitty sighting in the wild. And now we've got 2 sections clean. I don't even know if you can tell from this distance, but yeah, I just got the middle section to go, and it's pretty dirty. You can see on the balcony there. It's pretty gross looking, but it will clean up just nice, and you can see the roof. Look at that difference between the roof. Yeah, that other section, that left section looked that way when I started. So 1 more section to go. Oh, see that? That was the elusive kitty. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Should I go? Oh. All right, friends. The next phase is to somehow get her up there. No, I don't know how that's going to work. Now, because of the camera that I'm using, there's a little bit of forced perspective. It's not quite at this much larger than that space back there as you're seeing, but it is a little bit larger than the space I had set aside. So we're gonna see how this works. I'm hoping to be able to set it up like this. I thought this would save space from having it in its A-frame configuration. It actually does not seem to save that much space. Another new kitty sighting. Those are exciting. So it's now time to dismantle the Barbie and the rocker stage. I'm also not quite sure what I'm going to do with the guys and gals over here. I've been really happy with their configuration for a while now, but also it's a lot of faces and it's a little hard to see who's there. I don't mind switching out my dolls every once in a while. I actually kind of prefer it. That way nobody gets dusty, nobody gets sun faded, yada, 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 all that kind of stuff. So anyway, long story short, we're going to take all these dolls down. Barbie the Rockers are just going to go into storage for right now. The other guys and gals will probably go into the house for right now until I decide what kind of party and what kind of setting that I'm having. Because we may also put my 70s and 80s dolls in there. I'm not real sure. So that's next. That's where we're headed. That's what I'm going to work on next. So again, I don't have a tripod out here to put my phone on for you to watch me tear it down. Plus, I don't know how interesting that would be. So I'm just going to get it done. And I will show you the result once I have the dollhouse up there. Y'all, if you're thinking about getting one of these though, it is huge. No regrets. I was telling my partner, part of why I got this is because when I was a kid, I wanted one of these so bad. My parents couldn't afford it. Of course, they were very expensive. And I did get a few pieces of furniture, which you'll see they'll populate in the house. And I always swore, my little 8-year-old self, as I was getting this furniture, swore that someday I would have one of these A-frame houses so I could put my furniture in it. So today is that day. Isn't that exciting? Okay, I am going to put my phone down and I am going to start to take apart the Barbie and the Rockers stage. I'll see you in a bit. Well, I mean, it's sure up there. Oh, what have I done? Remember the plaza and how big we thought that was? Yeah. The plaza is like about the size of the left 2 sections of this house. And I think the peak on this is a little taller. So, what have I done? What have I done? Now, in my defense, the same number of dolls are in this display right now. And although I don't have them all set up and I don't have everybody where I want them, it doesn't look as cluttered as it did. I should say the same number of dolls as what were on the right. My Barbie and the Rocker dolls are waiting to be put away. So maybe not quite exactly the same number of dolls, but pretty darn close. Again, I don't know what my plan is quite yet. I didn't think this through, but there's our camper here to visit our house, our summer house. So I don't know. Maybe I should just put everybody away and let this roving band of hippies take over. Who knows? More thought needs to go into it. But the first thing I needed to get put out was the pride flag. It also might get moved, but, at least we're representing. All right. I'll see you in the next one. And here we are. We're all set in our Barbie Dreamhouse. I've got all the rooms set up with what little furniture I have. I don't have a house full of furniture just yet, but I have a few pieces here and there that can kind of imply different rooms. And so far that's working for me. So we'll start in the upper left and we'll work our way around clockwise. So I've got the girls here hanging out, having a deep discussion. I put these 3 together because they're all in these dresses that are all from the same line. They're all from the 90s. I've got 3 different dolls. I don't actually know who that doll on the far left is. I don't know what line she's from. I bought her in a thrift store and I fixed her up. So she's wearing one of the dresses. You know what? The girl seated on the couch to the right. I don't know who she is either. But then of course we have our Barbie Looks doll in the blue dress. Moving to the center, there's President Barbie and of course our Chase variant Midge, and they're kind of greeting everybody in, kind of like the hosts of the house, or I don't know. I just liked from the Barbie movie when the president was like, "I'm here, you're welcome." I just thought that was really funny of me. Try to adjust the lightness. Yeah, so I thought she was funny on the balcony there, greeting everybody. There is a bench in the background. You can't quite see it. I guess you can kind of see it behind Midge's legs. I don't have anybody on that bench yet. Eventually that will be the bedroom, I think. So I'm going to put a bed. I gotta get a Barbie Dreamhouse bed and put it in there. And we'll get that all set up as the bedroom. Hey, editing Sherry here. I just want to let you know that since I made this recording, I purchased this set off of the internet that you see here. So expect an update in the near future. But for now, back to me. Moving over to the right, next to Margot Robbie there, we've got two girls. So these are from the 1988 Superstar Barbie dress line. That's Whitney on the left. She is from, I can't remember the name of the line, but she's like from the Magic Curl Barbie kind of, but from the 90s. I'll put her up on the screen. At late 80s or early 90s, I can't remember which one. And then on the right, that doll is actually from 90 or 91, I think, somewhere in there. But she's a President Barbie. So that's kind of funny that I got the two President Barbies kind of on the same plane. And in the background, that is Beauty Secrets Barbie, and she is seated at my 1970s vanity. So that's my original vanity from when I was a kid. That's not my original Beauty Secrets Barbie, though. Unfortunately, she got lost in a move, so that is a replacement. But as a child, my Beauty Secrets Barbie spent many hours grooming herself at that vanity. So it's kind of nice to have another one there. All right, so we will move down to the lower level. In the front, we have our... Is she a midge? I think she's a midge. What? Do you want to say hi to the camera? Where are you going? Hi? You want to say hi to the camera? A brief viewing. So, yeah, I think that's Cool Times Midge in the purple dress. Behind her and to the right, that's another Superstar Barbie dress. I don't remember which. Oh, she's on Totally Hair Barbie. So Totally Hair Barbie in one of those 1988 Superstar Barbie pack dresses. That's a 1960s Ken in the back. He's wearing a fashionista tuxedo. There's our Odile in the back corner next to him. I kind of thought they made a cute couple, right? So we've got the old and the new next to each other. So she's got herself a little sugar daddy in the background. And then all the way to the right, next between Odile and our Mojo Dojo Casa House Ken here, that is 1988 Superstar Barbie. So she is here at the party. And I kind of envisioned her and Ken as being the hosts of this party, but then I put these two up in the balcony. I don't know. Look, don't overthink it. The dining room area is probably the room that's hardest to see because it's got the front doors kind of closing it off. But in front of that window there, we've got all the way over on the right, that's a Ken from Barbie the movie. He's redressed in another fashionista tuxedo. There's one of our mermaid Odiles. She's been rebodied onto a made-to-move body, and she's wearing one of the dresses from that Odile's pack. In the corner, there is Malibu Ken. That's, again, not my original Malibu Ken from when I was a child. He got lost in a move. First he lost his head, and then he just got lost entirely. But he's here talking to this table of ladies and one gent. And then over on the edge, that's my other mermaid Odile, who's been rebodied onto a curvy Barbie body. And she's wearing a dress that I made. I think I did a video about her. Then all the way over in our last cubicle here. Oh, and I have these ceramic dogs in this cube and in this cube under the table. Those were given to me by my friend Lex. They had once belonged to her mother, and I thought that was nice of her to give them to me. So over here, all the way over on the left, I believe that's Peaches and Cream Barbie, but she's had a haircut. So she's wearing the last of my 1988 Superstar Barbie dresses. Then next to her, I think that's Walk Lively Ken, if I remember right. He's one of the new good-looking Kens. He's actually the same face mold as Malibu Ken there. He's just brunette, where Malibu Ken is blonde and he's not as tan. He's a little more mod looking. In the corner there, she's the Barbie from the same line that Whitney is from. She's had a haircut in the past by some child, so I've just got her hair up. And she's wearing a really fabulous dress from the 90s for the Classique collection. And then last but certainly not least, that is our 1988 Superstar Ken. He actually goes with Superstar Barbie, but I thought he looked nice next to this silver and pink dress. And that is the current inhabitants of our 1985 Barbie Dreamhouse. You guys are just convinced you need to be in every shot. What? You have things to say? Did you lose your little brother? He was just here. Oh, there he is. He's on the couch. You guys done? done interrupting me? All right, so here we have our 1985 dream house starring all of these Barbies. I've got everybody from the 60s on up through to the 2023, and I thought that was kind of fun. I may end up swapping a few dolls out here and there just to get more of a mix because it's very 1980s, 1990s heavy right now. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how this goes. Oh, actually, not 2023. Our Midge there, she's 2025, right? So anyway, I have a mix of ages, which is kind of fun in the different rooms, and they're all kind of, and I'm like, this is a housewarming party. That was my vision for this layout. This may change as the seasons come and go, as my creativity kind of comes and goes. We'll see how it plays out, but I hope you enjoyed this. My childhood fantasies coming true in this dream house. Thank you again to Amy for making my childhood dreams coming true and sharing with me this beautiful dollhouse. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.